one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
A high-stakes diplomatic meeting at the White House took an unexpected and controversial turn after U.S. President Donald Trump made a remark that left the room in stunned silence. The moment came during talks with Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, an event meant to focus on rising global tensions, but instead overshadowed by a shocking joke. The Oval Office meeting was proceeding smoothly, with leaders discussing critical issues, including the escalating conflict with Iran. But as reported by international media covering the briefing, things shifted when a Japanese journalist questioned Trump on why key allies, including Japan, were not informed about U.S. military plans.
And I think we're going to have a great trip. The trip has been postponed for about a month and a half. It's been reset, and we look forward to it. And I'll be speaking Japan's praises when I'm in China with President Xi. But we're going to have some good talks today, and I think mostly about trade because they want to do a lot of trade. They're a tremendous purchaser of our energy, our oil, gas from, in particular, Alaska. Because Alaska, believe it or not, is very close. It's much closer than any other source. It seems a little cold compared to, but it's just a short trip.
So that's something that we will talk after the press corps leaves.
We'll be discussing trade, and a lot of the talk will be about energy.
Trump responded by defending the element of surprise in military strategy, saying, "You don't want to signal too much." However, according to reports from the exchange, he then added a remark that quickly changed the mood. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? What initially drew nervous laughter soon turned into discomfort as Trump doubled down, referencing Pearl Harbor, the 1941 attack that led the United States into World War II. As noted in coverage of the moment, he said, "Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?" a comment that reportedly brought the room to a sudden silence. The historical reference struck a sensitive chord. The attack on Pearl Harbor remains one of the most defining and tragic moments in U.S. history, famously described by then-President Franklin D. Roosevelt as a date which will live in infamy. The remark, in such a setting, added an unexpected layer of tension to an already delicate diplomatic engagement. Despite the awkward moment, discussions continued, with Takaichi and other global leaders focusing on Iran conflict. According to joint statements released and reported by global outlets, leaders from the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Japan condemned Iran's actions, including threats to shipping and energy routes. The leaders also urged Iran to comply with UN Security Council Resolution 2817 and called for immediate de-escalation. As highlighted in official statements, they expressed readiness to stabilize global energy markets and reopen critical trade routes like the Strait of Hormuz. Earlier in the day, Trump also addressed his communication with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, stating he had advised against certain military actions. As per White House remarks covered by media, Trump maintained that while coordination exists, the U.S. ultimately makes independent decisions. Takaichi, meanwhile, struck a diplomatic tone, praising Trump and emphasizing Japan's stance against Iran's nuclear ambitions. She also presented proposals aimed at calming global energy markets, as reported in briefings from the meeting. Despite the tension, both leaders publicly maintained a cordial front. But it's that one remark, made in a room full of global leaders, that continues to dominate headlines. In a moment meant for diplomacy, a joke has instead sparked debate, discomfort, and questions about tone at the highest level of power.